First on the agenda is the fire loss ordinance that Jim's going to speak to.
We've had this ordinance for quite a while, but there are actually two changes. The gray area is one, and pretty much the sentence nearby in triple I. Let me find triple I. Up until now, if somebody had a fire in town and they had the property insured, the insurance company was required to give to us a certain amount of money. It's a percentage. I think the cap is $2,000 for every $15,000 of insurance. And we were to put that in an escrow account to ensure that the property would be repaired. What we did find out was that contractors who did the repairs were not getting paid. So the one change to this ordinance says there must be proof. If you had a contractor, there must be proof that the contractor was paid before we're going to take the money the insurance company gave us and give it back to the property owner. So that, in effect, is change one. Change number two, talking with Wayne, is we also want to ensure that any outstanding taxes, liens for water or sewage and or sanitation are paid before the funds would be returned to the property owner. So once that insurance company gives it to us to hold, as long as we can, it can be demonstrated that any contractor who made the repairs to the property has been paid, all taxes are current and up to date, there are no outstanding liens for water or sewage bills at the LMA, and we have no outstanding lien for sanitation, then yes, we'll cut the check and send it back to the property. If not, then those payments come out of that fund. So that's kind of what the darkened area is all about. I could have it ready and advertised, pretty sure, yeah, for this coming meeting in October.
Now, what is that meeting date in October?
13th, Tuesday.
Tuesday, 13th, right?
Yep. We moved it from Monday because of the holiday.
Because of
Columbus Day.
Columbus Day.
Yeah. So that's this ordinance.
Okay, next on the hit parade is the electronic billboard and sign topper. If you turn your little packet to the page mark number 2, we're looking to change the logo on the electronic sign out here to something that's more appropriate within the, kind of like similar to the street signs and all the things that we're kind of branding the city in a very similar format. This is a double-sided sign because I'd like to put the other side with another electronic billboard, so the billboard's on both sides. Now, we got $16,000 from the hospital for some wages back almost 3.5 years ago. And
what?
They were Gary's salary for the hospital's parking garage.
Oh.
And it was tied up in most of it, but we were able to get that a few months ago, so I wanted to take a portion of that $16,000 and use that to buy the other side of the sign. We're getting some advertisement for the sign. You know, we've probably taken in about $1,000 in costs for advertising the sign. So the sign's going to start paying for itself down the road. It's going to be a while.
The way that that's angled, if you have something on the other side, can they see it from that other coming on Jefferson?
Yeah, they'll see it. That's what we put that. We put that way for that reason. They'll be able to see it. The way it is now, you can kind of see it on Jefferson, but you really see it, of course, on Main. But the other side, you'll be able to see very clearly from Jefferson. So it was put up for that particular reason, with the idea of getting another sign on the other side. So unless council has a concern about it, I'd like to use that $16,000.
This would go on top of it?
This is going to go on top of it, and then the new sign, there'll be another side for our sign. Total is $13,768.
Oh, that's for the sign and this stuff?
That's for everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the sign's $13,152. This sign, the electronic sign, is $13. I guess I should say which sign. $13,152. This the sign company's been nice enough to give it to us for. They brought the price down to $616. So they were nice enough to work with us. They were a little higher, and because we've done a number of things with them, they're able to reduce our costs a little bit. But yeah, this is a double-sided sign, and again, it's going to give you the same branding that they're doing with the street sign. Any thoughts?
How much was the original sign?
About 16. The second one, because we use the same driver for both sides, we don't have to go through that cost, and of course you have the cost of putting the pole up right antenna. So, and like I said, when they put it together, we had talked about making it so that we could do the other side without too much, aggravation. So.
And this is from, the wages that you're talking about were paid out of the budget that,
No, it's 4 years ago.
of the rent budget 4 years ago, right, so.
Yeah, basically this is a plus because it took a lot of effort on a number of people to convince the hospital, even within the hospital group itself. We had a number of people on the hospital staff that helped push this forward because they were reluctant to pay this, sitting in an account that was just sitting there. So through a little bit of effort on a number of people's parts, we were able to get that money. So I'd like to use that money toward something that we can basically do a little bit of revenue generating.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Chapter 256, we're back with Jim.
Okay, chapter 256, there are several items here that we're seeking to change. You'll recall maybe about a month, 2 months ago, we did an amendment to the ordinance and we eliminated no parking on the, I believe it was the north side of Grant Street. Or, south side. Joe here?
South side.
South side, okay, we eliminated no parking there. Made a permit parking on both sides.
Permit.
Joe got a little bit concerned, Mr. Bush, about the ability of larger vehicles to get up and down there with parking on both sides. So I met with he and Wayne, and what we came up with was this, that we're going to go back to the parking prohibited on the south side of Grant Street. We will stay with the permit parking on the north side of Grant Street. But also we found out that some of the cars from the auto body shop, when they can no longer park on Grant, they start to move their vehicles down to Anderson Street. So what we have included in this ordinance is the same situation. On the, let me look here. On Anderson Street, it would be permit parking on the east side, no parking on the west side of Anderson Street. And that goes from Monroe to Wagner. So we're trying to keep commercial vehicles from being on these two streets. That's one change in the ordinance. The other change goes to the amount of money to be plugged into a meter. You recall we discussed this several months ago, and Wayne was going to look at it with Joe. What we finally came up with and what is in the ordinance is very simplified. Every meter on the streets will be 25 cents for 30 minutes. No long-term, short-term, I don't believe I think we just...
They're all 2-hour meters.
All 2-hour meters, everywhere, on the streets. In the parking lots, we still have the 2-hour and 9-hour for those that need additional time, but they're all going to be 25 cents for 30 minutes. We will no longer use dimes or nickels. It will not be part of the parking system.
Then explain why it says 30 minutes for all on-street and off-street parking meter.
Let's see where we are.
Establishes a charge of 25 cents for 30 minutes on all on-street and off-street. So we aren't going to have a 2-hour and a 9-hour meter that way on off-street parking.
No, you still have the 2-hour and 9-hour. It says all off-street long-term meters yellow, 25 cents for 30 minutes. Now I'm in section 5. All off-street short-term meters orange, 25 cents for 30 minutes. All on-street meters, long-term orange and or short-term yellow. So there may be some long-terms on the street, I'm not sure. In any event, 25 cents for 30 minutes. So there is no meter that will be anything other than 25 cents for 30 minutes. The only difference will be whether it's a 2-hour or a 9-hour.
And in the downtown area, they're all yellow meters. So they're all the 2-hour meters.
Where?
In the
Downtown area.
On street.
Right.
Moving through, Maine, Ligonier, and next street down.
So this is, in italics here, it says a summary.
Yeah,
Your summary says
right.
The ordinance establishes a charge of 25 cents for 30 minutes for all on-street and off-street
Right,
parking.
which is true. What I just said. Two sections of the ordinance do it, but the summary is saying every meeting will be 25 cents for 30 minutes. Every meeting.
Except what?
Except none.
You didn't say that. You said there's going to be a 2-hour meter and a 9-hour meter.
There, in the lots there are.
What's off-street parking?
Off-street can be 9 or 2. But it's still going to be 25 cents for 30 minutes. So if I want to park there for 2
Oh,
hours,
there's no, but you have an ability to slug the meter for 9 hours.
it's a 9-hour designated, it's not,
I have it.
yeah.
I
But
think
it's going
there's a
to
different rate.
be, it used to be 25 cents for 50 minutes if you, under the ordinance. It's going to 25 for 30 to be uniform.
I think it gives more,
Thanks
more
for clearing that up.
consistency.
What's that?
More consistency and even the handling of dimes and nickels creates more.
Yep.
Everybody's got the 3 quarters, or they buy monthly permits or whatever.
And if I'm not wrong, I think Greensburg is pretty much that way, and I believe Ligonier is pretty much that way. 25 cents for 30 minutes.
Okay.
We're not the Lone Ranger. By any stretch. But those are the changes that are in the Chapter 256 ordinance, which will be advertised.
Does that mean a big change in the meters then?
Well, we're gonna change the meters anyway. We're recoining the heads. You're redoing the heads anyway.
Yeah, we got to do some coin segments, and what it is, we'll get a rental computer and come out and reprogram them.
You can still put dimes and nickels in, like 2 dimes and nickels. Still
You're not going to be able to. They'll only accept quarters. That's where you have to put a new segment in, coin.
So
If it's any consolation, I've learned when I go to Greensburg, I have a little change purse in my car. I put a roll of quarters in there, and that's your part.
we can't keep it 2 dimes and a nickel, 2 dimes and a nickel? I mean, even so, 1 dime doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, yeah, and the other thing we're trying to do is get away from handling the dimes and nickels and all that stuff, because that's one of the things. Roll on and stack and then take everything.
All right.
You know, that was the other reason for going away from nickels.
Okay.
All right, next is the Act 537, yeah. Yeah, back to Jim again.
Okay, Act 537. It is our hope that during the month of October, and it's my belief that all municipalities are going to approve documents for the Act 537 update plan. Different entities meet at different points in time in October. The last one to meet, I think, is Derry Township Municipal Authority at the end of the month of October. In any event, I will have 2 items for council. One is called the consent order and agreement, and basically that is the document that defines how the various entities will attack the sewage inflows and the problems that have plagued our lines over the years. It's going to set forth a basic plan of attack as proposed by our engineer Gibson Thomas, which will include holding tanks. But that's the consent order and agreement, and so far everybody has agreed to it. The second resolution will ask for approval of a cost allocation agreement. That's a separate agreement. It will become a codicil to be attached to our 1973 service agreement with Derry Township, Unity Township, Youngstown Borough, BTMA, UTMA, and LMA. And what the cost allocation agreement basically does is it sets forth the responsibilities of the various municipalities in terms of sharing in the cost for remediation of the sewage inflow, the surface water inflow into our sanitary sewer system. There will be some caps on what certain parties will have to pay, but that's called the cost allocation agreement. Again, it has been essentially verbally approved by all entities. So this is now the formal approval that is required by DEP.
We've been down that road before.
Well, yeah, and the resolution says that this is a revised. So, but it's looking very promising. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and just to iron out a few little bugs, but there seems to be no objection raised by anybody. So we should be in a position before the end of the month to have it fully approved. We're about the second or third line, I think, in terms of governmental body to approve.
So there'll be two consent order and a codicil.
Right, there'll be two resolutions, one for each.
The last on the list is the resolution, I'll give everybody a copy of the police contract that was just negotiated earlier this year. It's a 4-year contract. Each year has a 2% increase, pay increase, and they received a new holiday, which is Veterans Day. That's basically the crux of what the changes to the contract are, along with that, the drop, which I talked about before, which is an early retirement if you reach a certain age. You can retire early. So. But I'll make sure everybody gets a complete copy of the 45-page document for their review. I just want to let you know that we were waiting for the police attorney wanted to do a survey to determine if drop was feasible, and basically, in my opinion, it was probably a waste of money. But anyway, it came back to the most feasible, which we could have done. We didn't talk about anything, but his attorney charged the police department. But you'll see, I'll give you copies of the contract. You can see. That's basically the high points.
And you have a number of what?
I was going to say just
Just number 7?
Should be number 1. Is that the fire loss ordinance?
Oh, this is the fire law.
Yeah, that'll be number 1.
Yeah, I would like to, you all to come on executive session, after the meeting, because to discuss personnel related issues.
Okay. A couple of things I wanted to bring up. Just a reminder, Trick or Treat will be the 31st of October, with the parade judging starting at 1:30, the parade to follow, and then Trick or Treat after the parade till 6 o'clock. And I inquired about the issue that Fairmont Street, Walnut Street area, 400 block, with some concerns about some rats in that. We had the gentleman here, Jeff Miller, talking.
Yeah.
Ann gave me an update in an email today that motorhome was removed from the property.
Right, motorhome in the car.
Vehicle was removed. The boat still had a valve sticker, and some truck had a valve sticker. But
Right.
the grass was cut, and a roof was patched.
Yeah, he's been doing some work, he's been doing some work on the house.
So just there are some things going
Some
on
improvements.
inside, and we're pushing for that. We're pushing to get off the top of the center, no action, nothing happening. So there's been some movement in that area to try to better the outlook of the neighborhood.
And at the last meeting,
Jeff.
the older gentleman. He spoke about a house, a tree. And
Yeah.
Jim
Miller.
Miller. Couldn't think of the noise just to get it on.
Yeah.
He spoke about a house that was near him, a tree. We did have West Penn look at a tree that was a wire going through it. It's a guide wire. West Penn did not feel that it was in danger of taking any power lines out because it was just a guide wire. They did, Joe and Ann went over and did secure that building. So, try to get the tree taken down, but West Penn wasn't
West Penn wasn't concerned about it.
No, they had to understand. They looked at the tree and they felt that it did not present a hazard.
Our hands are tied. It's on the property.
It's private property, yeah.
And the power company doesn't think it's going to cause an issue to their power lines.
Right. Yeah, if they had, they would probably would have stopped it, but regardless, they didn't even think it was appropriate to stop, so just wanted to, that was brought up at the last meeting.
And we've been back and forth on the house on Fairmont as well, the 417, which is on the other side of Jeff Miller, who was here.
Okay.
And that's the one that, again, the city's hands are tied because it's owned by a bank. The actual person that owned it is deceased. bank keeps up with the liens and the
Right.
taxes and, and the last thing Ann said was she was gonna send them, I said, it's unbelievable that you can't hold the bank accountable, but you can hold a person accountable. And so she was gonna send them some bills for maintenance they've had to do and things like that.
Well, that's kind of the attitude I think the lending institutions have. Let them, the city, go ahead and take care of mowing the grass or fix this, fix that. Put the lien against the property when it's finally sold, it just diminishes the dollar value returned to them.
Well, if
So
one ever.
they don't have
I mean,
departments called mowing department or.
Well, this bank is out west, and they don't have anything. Who did she say it was? It was,
Was it Wells Fargo?
no,
Was it Wells Fargo?
no, but it is whoever holds my Spirit MasterCard, whoever that is. The Bank of America. She said they're notorious for that, I send them pictures of the property. I mean, it's a health hazard, and they need to be held accountable, but
So are we mowing the grass out there, or
periodically.
Yeah,
but
are they racking up a bill
That's what we can do.
and gonna put a lien against it, et cetera?
Yeah, if they pay it, fine, if they don't, then we lien it, and that's
Right.
the most we can put for it.
There's legislation in a number of states, and I've talked to Jeff Petrarca about it. They call them zombie homes, because they're not really owned by anybody, they're just sort of there, owned by a bank or whatever. And there's a number of states that have been, started to become aggressive with what they call
Yeah.
the zombie homes. When I talked to Joe, and I know Senator has been she's been pretty active about trying to help, be a little more aggressive, so there may be some legislation down the road that comes to council.
Yeah.
You get an update on the RCAP grant? Give us
Just, we're down to one item, and I actually was gonna send Dawn, or Diane, an email and see, for 2 weeks it was emails back and forth, and now it's been about a week and I haven't heard it, so I was gonna send her an email and ask her what's up with it. But we're just about, knock on wood, I believe we're getting very close to the conclusion. We have to come up with enough to cover that $1 million, and I think we're to that point.
enough cost.
Yeah. In other words, to justify the RCAP.
Okay.
I think we're close, but every time I think we're close, something else comes up.
Yeah.
Well, the gentleman that's doing a review, it's been difficult sometimes because he's doing a lot of things apparently, and he's hard to catch sometimes. And, this isn't his only lawful judgment in the air, but it's our main concern, so. It's difficult sometimes to keep everybody on track.
There'll be an Oktoberfest too, I see, down at the, when it's closed down. Well, Spring Street.
The upper part of that block.
Yeah. Luckily, we've got a newly paved for that, it'd be a good showcase. It's Oktoberfest here in the city, run by an organization off the city. Run by the
Kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the kitchen that's in Eagle.
Saturday and Sunday coming up this weekend.
Yeah, she's German, isn't she?
Yeah.
She makes good fish.
Yeah, the parking lot got finished.
What's that?
The parking lot.
Yeah,
got
it looks
finished.
nice.
But it got repaved and repainted, so it looks good.
It does. Oh, we need the mural on that wall.
No, that's been talked about, it's just, it's gotta be sandblasted and then repointed, and then you can paint it. I guess it costs, none of us have volunteered to do a mural.
Joe Bush.
A little bit of information for council, and I'd like to get it out to the residents. Latrobe's 2015 paving program was started last Monday and completed on Friday by Dairy Construction. Walked around with the inspector today to do a punch list on deficiencies and that, and I'm very happy to say that I had no punch list. It was, my opinion, a very, very good paving job this year. The county CDBG paving is supposed to begin next Monday, and that would be from Madison to Avenue C. And that'll take approximately that whole week, depending on weather. And the other bit of information I would like to get out is the e-waste collection, October 24th, 8 to 12, in the stadium parking lot here.
When is that?
October 24th.
8 to noon, Joe.
Yes. Thank you.
Anyone else from council, right? Okay, if not,
Maybe just reemphasize, our regular meeting will be Tuesday, October 13th, and hopefully that'll be in the newspapers, not Monday.
in observance of Columbus Day,
Mhm.
we advertised that before, but yes, we will be Tuesday, October the 13th, will be our next regular meeting, council.
Anybody notice the new bridge thing that they etched on the, coming from Ligonier? Welcome to Latrobe, they put it right on the,
Yes,
in the concrete.
I did notice that.
I
There's
wondered
something
if-
else there too.
Yeah, but something about the welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Reference to Mr. Rogers. I was wondering who did that, did the city have?
On the 982 bridge,
I think Unique Township, man.
but they're doing the Youngstown Code with, when you're coming
Coming from Lincoln.
westbound on 30. It's hard to see in there because it's
Yeah, they
just
did.
etched in the concrete. I don't know if they're going to fill it in with a color or not later, but.
Yeah, you have to really look to catch it.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be something on the other side.
Yes, there is, in reference to
Get the hell out of
the
here.
other legend. In reference to the other legend from Latrobe.
Yeah.
From what I understand, but I don't know that for, I just have that hearsay. And I think somebody with the bridge, doing the bridge shed, it was not, city didn't ask for any of that, if it's not our.
I've seen that traveling in a lot of places, they've been doing that on bridges.
Would it be
Yeah,
would it be worthwhile to ask how that came about for the new bridge we're going to have over here?
Right.
Well, the bridge over here, you're not.
We can let that,
drawing
we can
under.
Well,
let
it
that
depends
sit
where you
big.
put it.
It's
Depends on how it rises.
BUSH.
The Bush Memorial Bridge.
Well, not memorial, hopefully, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Good.
Honorary bridge.
Yeah.
And that way all the folks want to see your name.
All the
Okay,
canoes.
we have an executive session to go into, and which will come back.
Well, you could adjourn the meeting, and just so we announce at the next meeting, there was an executive session for personal matters. That way people don't have to wait around.
There's not, wouldn't be a decision.
Agenda prep session is adjourned.